Today, I'm going to talk about a scary sci-fi movie from 2000 called Hollow Man. Watch out, I'm going to give away some of the story. In a big science lab, a small rat was wandering around when suddenly it was caught in a cage. While looking for food, something invisible caught and ate it. Elsewhere in the lab, a man named Sebastian was working hard on his computer, trying to make a special formula work, but it wasn't happening. He looked out the window at his neighbor and was disappointed when she shut her curtains. Then, he had a great idea for his formula. He quickly called his friend Linda to tell her the good news. But when he saw someone else in Linda's bed, she said it was none of his business. Still, Sebastian was too excited to keep his discovery to himself. He had figured out the missing piece for his formula. Linda was shocked by his smart idea. Linda then woke up Matt, saying they had to rush to the lab. She suggested driving separately, but Matt thought she should tell Sebastian about their relationship when it felt right. The next day, Sebastian arrived at the top-secret lab, where they had animals you couldn't see. They needed special cameras to see them. Matt greeted an invisible orangutan and a gorilla named Isabel, but Isabel was angry and scared everyone by running at her cage. Matt tried to calm her down with special goggles that let him see her, but Isabel moved too fast, bit him, and ran away. Matt and Sebastian tried to catch her, saying she was acting strange from being invisible too long. Sebastian decided to use a sleeping dart to catch Isabel, but when they did, another team member, Sarah, was upset. She thought it was wrong to try a new drug on Isabel without more tests, but Sebastian thought it was worth the risk to save time. Linda reminded him they needed Sarah because she was the best vet. Getting ready to try the new drug, Linda told Sebastian they were starting soon. Then Sarah had good news. Isabel, the gorilla, was okay. Suddenly Carter showed up, ready to help, and Frank from the tech team gave them a thumbs up. Linda prepared the drug in a big syringe, and Matt got everything ready for the big moment. Sarah found the right spot on Isabel's arm, and then Sebastian decided to do the injection himself. As soon as he did, they saw the drug working, spreading through Isabel's body. Everyone was excited as Isabel began to become visible again, but then, things got scary. Isabel's heart raced, then stopped. Linda quickly used a machine to shock Isabel's heart. After a tense moment, Isabel's heart started again, and she became fully visible. The tech team had more good news. Isabel was stable on a very small level, and everyone was relieved and happy about their success. Thinking all was well, Sebastian suggested something mean for Isabel, but Matt said he was just joking. However, Sebastian's joke didn't seem all joke. To celebrate their big achievement, Linda suggested going out to eat. During the celebration, Sebastian tried to get back together with Linda, but she wasn't interested. Feeling down, Sebastian went back to the lab to check on Isabel and talked to an invisible dog, wondering about life unseen. Later, it was time for Sebastian to tell some important people at the Pentagon about their work, but when asked about their progress, Sebastian lied a bit, surprising Linda and Matt. He shared his risky idea. By keeping their success a secret, they could stop the Pentagon from taking over. His next big plan? To test the drug on people without waiting for approval. This could be their chance to really change the world, maybe even win a big award. But not everyone liked Sebastian's bold idea. The team was worried about the dangers, and when Sarah found out, she was shocked, not believing they'd go ahead without official approval. Sebastian was determined to be the first to try their new discovery, no matter what his friends thought. On the big day, Matt gave Sebastian one last chance to change his mind, but Sebastian just laughed it off. They got everything ready in the lab, with Sebastian on a bed, hooked up to machines. He joked about being nervous as his heart rate went up. Frank and Janice even jokingly bet on who'd get Sebastian's fancy car if things went wrong. Sebastian insisted on giving himself the drug. He wanted to make sure that if anything went wrong, he was the only one to blame. When he injects the drug into his bloodstream, everyone is on edge, watching to see what will happen. Initially, there's no change, but then Sebastian begins to tremble uncontrollably. His body starts to vanish piece by piece, and he screams in agony, claiming it's far worse than he thought. As Sebastian disappears, his body's functions become erratic. The team gets ready for the worst, thinking they might have to step in to help him. However, they're stunned as Sebastian's body stabilizes and he turns completely invisible. Frank marks the moment when Sebastian is fully invisible. 17 hours later, Sebastian wakes up, yelling from the pain. He's bewildered and frightened because he can't close his eyes, they're transparent. As he tries to get used to his new condition, he wanders around, playing pranks on everyone until Frank uses special glasses to see him. Matt and Linda try to keep Sebastian in his room, monitoring him with cameras. Sarah decides to watch him first, but falls asleep. While she's asleep, Sebastian sneaks in and frightens her, but hides when she wakes up. The next day, Sarah is unsure if her experience was real or a dream, and she's very upset about it. Linda and Matt are concerned, but don't know what to do. Matt attempts to talk to Sebastian, pretending to check on his health, but everything seems fine on the surface. Sarah tries to stay calm around Sebastian, but he unnerves her again. Even Janice feels observed, using thermal glasses for a sense of security. The team realizes that Sebastian being invisible could cause problems. They all agree, feeling anxious, that Sebastian's invisibility could lead to mischief. They face a new problem when they find out Sebastian was secretly listening to their talks, unnoticed. That night, while Linda is in the lab, Sebastian starts playing pranks on her, moving things to get her attention. He even suggests doing something very bad, but Linda strongly refuses. The next day, they attempt to make Sebastian visible again. They work cautiously, using a spray to see his veins and injecting him with another serum, but things go wrong. Sebastian panics, feeling something's not right, and his body reacts badly. Despite trying to calm him, he fights back, showing incredible strength as he becomes partly visible again. In a critical moment, Sarah and Linda help him breathe, and Matt keeps his heart working. They manage to save him, but Sebastian is still in a vulnerable state, partly seen and unseen. Recognizing the seriousness of the situation, the team makes a mask for Sebastian to interact with others. Despite trying to solve the issue, Linda and Matt struggle to find a solution, feeling the burden of their task. Sebastian's condition gets worse, both physically and mentally, due to the ongoing tests. He argues with Matt, feeling stuck and desperate for a solution that seems impossible. One night, unable to stand being confined any longer, Sebastian leaves the lab, ignoring Carter's warnings. He skillfully avoids security and goes out into the night, looking for a short break from his invisible cage. He returns to his apartment, picks up some things, and meets his neighbor in a delicate situation. But then, the story takes a dark turn, showing a side of Sebastian that's unforgivable. Sebastian assaults her. Meanwhile, as Linda checks Sebastian's apartment, she finds he's left his mask behind, a sign that Sebastian is struggling with his own issues. When he comes back to the lab, he tries to brush off his absence, but Linda and Matt are skeptical. They're growing concerned about how Sebastian's condition affects his actions. As they get ready to deal with the situation directly, the team is reminded to keep their project secret. No one outside their group can know about Sebastian's invisibility. Despite this, Sebastian insists on being in charge, even as his choices become more doubtful. The next day, Carter tries to understand Sebastian's behavior, but Sebastian dodges, hiding the truth about his night out. That night, Linda has a frightening dream about Sebastian, indicating her increasing worry. When Matt thinks he's found a solution, there's a brief moment of hope. However, their hope fades when their test fails, frustrating Sebastian. Linda's attempt to confront him about his actions only uncovers how much he's in denial about his serious condition. Sebastian's decision to alter security footage to cover his actions shows his growing desperation to keep his freedom and control. But his jealousy over Linda and Matt's relationship leads to a dangerous act, indicating his ability is becoming a significant threat. As Linda and Matt find solace in each other, unaware of Sebastian watching, a broken window raises alarms. Linda's instinct to check on Sebastian shows her deepening mistrust and concern for their safety. Frank notices something wrong with a tampered camera. The situation gets worse when a dog's continuous barking drives Sebastian to a terrible act. The next day, Sarah discovers the dog and tries to talk to Sebastian, but gets nowhere. They review the security footage, which strangely shows Sebastian asleep all night. Meanwhile, Linda feels Sebastian's presence in her room. Thinking it's a prank, she tries to cover him with a blanket, but panics and flees. Driving back to the lab, she learns from Matt that Sebastian is supposedly asleep, according to the monitors. Finding his room empty and the camera messed with, Linda alerts everyone, calling them back to the lab. Debating their next steps, Janice suggests pursuing Sebastian, but Linda decides it's time to involve their bosses. Matt reveals Sebastian's secret outings, alarming the team. Linda leads, planning to explain everything to their bosses, not knowing Sebastian is listening. As they prepare to visit the bosses, the plot thickens at Kramer's place, where Sebastian waits outside. After promising to assist, Kramer is attacked by Sebastian, leading to a fatal confrontation by the pool. The following day brings more fear. Linda, shaken by Sebastian at the lab, hears about Kramer's death. Their attempts to call for help fail as they realize they're cut off from the outside. Their effort to leave is stopped when the elevator doesn't work, a sign of Sebastian's interference. Panicking, they try to regroup, but tragedy strikes again when Janice is found dead, killed by Sebastian's anger. The team's search for Sebastian becomes urgent. He explains his reason. He's obsessed with power and can't risk getting caught. Finding Janice's body proves their biggest worries. While some think Sebastian has gone crazy, others think this is all part of his well-thought-out plan. A scary idea as they realize the truth of their situation. The tension goes through the roof when Sarah angrily hits Linda, blaming her for not stopping the experiment when she could have. Frank agrees, while Carter, worried, asks about what they should do next. Linda, determined to do something, encourages the team to turn on the motion sensors. They see Sebastian on the screen, which leads Matt and Carter to start a search, with the rest providing backup. As the search gets more intense, Linda can't find Sebastian on the screens anymore. In a stressful moment, Matt almost confuses Carter for Sebastian, showing how critical their mission is. They think they see Sebastian, but it's a mistake, just a vent. Suddenly, Sebastian surprises Carter, and in the confusion, Matt's shot hits a pipe, making Sebastian's location known through the steam. Despite Matt's attempt, Sebastian badly hurts Carter and gets away, leaving Matt trapped in the tunnel by changing the environment to make their goggles useless. Outside, Linda organizes a rescue, telling the team to help Carter while she helps Matt. In the tunnel, Matt and Sebastian argue, leading to a fight. Just when Sebastian seems to win, Linda comes in and saves Matt. Meanwhile, as Sarah and Frank look after Carter, Sarah comes up with a plan to use spilled blood as a way to track Sebastian. Her attempt to catch him by surprise, though, ends badly as Sebastian outsmarts her, killing her in a heartless act. The situation gets worse as Carter's life fades, leaving Linda and Matt to quickly mourn their loss before facing their own danger. Sebastian continues his cruel ways, surprising and killing Frank, then hurting Matt, leaving him and Linda in a cold situation in the lab's freezer. Linda cleverly uses duct tape to help Matt's injury. Matt passes out, leaving Linda alone in the cold freezer. But Linda's smart thinking leads to a clever solution. Meanwhile, Sebastian is planning to blow up the lab. Linda, using a defibrillator, cleverly makes a magnet to open the freezer door. She pulls Matt to safety, warms him with a fire, and gets ready with a gas tank for what's next. Sebastian, not knowing Linda got away, gets ready to blow up the lab by setting a bomb with a 5-minute timer, but Linda catches up to him. In a bold move, she sets Sebastian on fire, making him try to take off his burning clothes. Despite her efforts, Sebastian escapes as Linda turns on the sprinkler system to put out the fire. The fight gets more intense when Sebastian, not giving up, attacks Linda hard. Just when things look bad, Matt comes back, hitting Sebastian hard. Yet Sebastian keeps attacking until a mistake leads to him getting shocked, briefly showing himself. With the bomb about to go off, Linda and Matt escape up the elevator shaft. The explosion sends the elevator flying, just missing them as they climb to safety. But the danger isn't over. Sebastian, in a final attempt, catches Linda. In a fight that's close to death, Linda makes a crucial choice. As Sebastian tries a twisted sign of love, Linda acts fast, letting go of the elevator cable, sending Sebastian down into the fire below. Climbing to Matt, Linda and her friend come out of the lab's ruins, having survived a terrifying experience. This story of fighting against huge odds ends with our heroes walking away, showing their strong spirit. Please like, share, and subscribe.